Let's jump on into some more spoilers for the day. More new planeswalkers. That sounds exciting. Conjure a Kraken Hatchling into your hand. Is Kraken Hatchling a new card, or is it something we've had before? I'm gonna pull Scryfall up now and take a look at that. As an 0/4 for 1. Okay. Untap target creature land until your next turn. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to and dealt by that permanent. Wow, that's really sweet. So this is a mono blue ramp, but it also protects itself by bubbling something. So you can use this to untap a land to accelerate, and it can also bubble something an opponent has. You may sacrifice a Kraken. If you do, create an 8/8 Kraken token. Okay, that's a sweet design. So her up gives you the Hatchling, and then her down gives you an 8/8. I wonder, this might be playable. It also notable that, like, her making 8/8s has some synergy with 3 mana. Has some synergy with 3 mana Kiora. Yeah, she can bubble. She'll untap your opponent's creature land, but she can bubble creature lands for the turn too, which is nice. Kind of a neat blend of getting into the trials and 3 mana Kiora in terms of abilities. Oh, that's a good catch. It's sick with changelings, so you could play this on 4 after having played a changeling on 1, 2, or 3, and then make an 8/8 right away. That sounds sweet. Yeah, this card, there's a good chance this is historic playable and something I'm going to be interested to play with for sure. The first Sliver. Sliver spells you cast have Cascade. This has Cascade. Chat. They're going to give us back Historic Brawl, right, chat? This card was made to be cast in in Brawl. It's an EDH. I mean, it might be playable inside of a Slivers deck in Historic too, but like, yeah, that's sweet. Dark Salvation and Diregraph Colossus are both very sweet zombie cards. So Salvation gives you X 2/2 zombie tokens, and then you give up to 1 creature -1/-1 for each zombie you control. So this can just be a 1 mana piece of removal if you already have zombies in play, or it can create you an army of zombies in the late game plus be a piece of removal. So this is definitely a card that if zombies could be pushed to be playable in Historic, this could definitely help. Diregraph Colossus as well. I don't know if just these tools will be enough to make zombies be a reasonable try, but they definitely won't hurt, to say the least. Endling gains Menace, gains Death Touch, gains Undying, gets -1/+1. This probably isn't good enough. This seems like a cube card inclusion. Enters the battlefield, you get a Thopter with flying, sacrifice an artifact, exile a card, you may play that card, target creature gets 2/0. Something to note here is this is an artifact itself. So we've been playing blue-white Tempered Steel, has been my preferred flavor of Tempered Steel on stream of late, but this could be a reason to try out red-white Tempered Steel some more, because this does give us 2 artifact bodies in a single card, which seems sweet. This could be a reason to try that. This also can, like, sacrifice your bad artifacts in the early game to get redraws off of them, which is nice. Ooh, speaking of reasons to be in red, Goblin Engineer enters a battlefield. You search your library for an artifact and bin it. And you can sacrifice artifact to return an artifact with 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. One thing to note with this, we saw Dragon Rage Chandler and Unholy Heat, another Delirium cards, get spoiled yesterday. And Goblin Engineer here is a way to put an artifact in the bin. So in addition to your deck maybe having some artifact shenanigans with bouncing things around, this is a card that could help you enable Delirium potentially with those other ones. Ooh, we're getting squirrel cards. I said the other day, if they don't give us all the squirrel cards, I was going to be very sad. So I'm excited to see lots of squirrels come in, because the squirrel cards weren't quite powerful enough for Modern, but Historic I think is a little bit lower power level than current Modern, even with a lot of these additions, so maybe they could do something here. Be your upkeep, you can sacrifice any token, put an acorn counter on it. Each squirrel you control gets 1/1 for each acorn counter on Chitter Spitter. Create a squirrel token. And Chitter Spitter is a great name, I agree. Ooh, we're getting some Enchantments Matter stuff. So we're getting Sanctum Weaver, Silas of the Harvest Hand, and Sterling Grove here. And what's it called? Enchantress's Presence is already legal in Historic because it was in a Historic anthology forever ago. I think this archetype isn't quite good enough for Modern, but it might be in Historic yet again. Verdant Command's kind of cute. Get some, I love me some modal cards. There's a little bit of a few different things at instant speed. Sliver Hive. This is a big one for slivers. This not only is it fixing here, but providing utility in terms of making you slivers in the late game is nice. In addition to Sliver Hive, we also have Ancient Ziggurat legal in Historic already, so the mana base for, you know, a 3, 4, 5 color sliver deck might be very real. Pool of Vigorous Growth. Pay X, discard a card, create a token that's a copy of a random creature with mana value X, activate as only a sorcery. Okay, so this is the Momir Vig card people were talking about. That's a digital only. Also, it's convenient that here on Goldfish, it's right next to Parallel Lives, because these are two flavors that taste kind of good together, huh? You get to double up your pool of Vigorous Growth. Oh yeah, I'm sure when this one was spoiled, there were the boomers cried out in pain. They felt the disturbance in the force. I imagine that card will only make cards that exist on Arena. Shoreline Scout, I think is really sweet. I saw this one earlier. So when it enters the battlefield, you may exile a merfolk or land card from your hand. If you do, create a tropical island and put it into your hand. As long as a merfolk or island to the battlefield under your control this turn, it gets +1 attack. So this card, we could see a merfolk deck be reasonable that plays, you know, 16, 17, 18 lands perhaps, because this basically guarantees that you can have another land in hand so long as you have merfolk handy. So the threat density that you'll get to play with something like Shoreline Scout sounds really fantastic. Undead Auger. Whenever Undead Auger or another zombie you control dies, draw a card and you lose 1 life. That's actually a really good one. This is one I haven't played with because is this Vintage Masters? I forget what set symbol this is, but this is not a card that's Pioneer legal where I've played zombies a little bit forever ago. Oh, so this is MH1. Okay, yeah. So this is a sweet card that could help push zombies a little bit too. Manawef Sliver, Predatory Sliver. You love to see it. What's Squirrel Sanctuary do? Get a 1/1 squirrel token. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return Squirrel Sanctuary to its owner's hand. That's probably not good enough. Is that... This is tagged for Daily Spoilers. That's everything for today, I assume? Did anybody see anything tagged that wasn't, or posted that wasn't on this list of cards here that we just looked at? Feel free to link them in chat. Links are enabled. Or any that posted up that, Predatory Sliver. Each sliver costs an additional wild card to cast. Oh, it hurts, chat. It hurts. It's funny. It's funny because it's sad. The blue-green card next to the enchantments. Oh, I didn't. Every non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, investigate. Another. Sacrifice X clues. Opponent reveals X cards to the top of the library. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. That player puts the rest in the bottom of their library in any order. Neat. So we looked at spoiler stuff. We looked at spoiler stuff yesterday. So if I know there's other slivers that were spoiled. If you want my thoughts on those yesterday, they are up on the YouTube channel already. And these look like all things that we've looked at already. Cool. All right. So just be little bits since we're looking at things most days. Yeah, these are... Oh, there's other slivers in here from the packet. Okay. Some of these we saw yesterday, some of them we didn't. I don't think we saw Blur Sliver yesterday. Cleavings. Cleavings real mean. Diffusion is sweet. I don't think we saw Diffusion yesterday. This is like Muscle Sliver adjacent in a different color. There's the Hive. Mother Bear. Exile Mother Bear from your graveyard. Create 2/2/2 green bear tokens. Activate anytime you can activate a sorcery. Man. Can you believe the power creep on Grizzly Bears, chat? Just the unreal power creep. Yeah, Diffusion is Ward 2. Counter that spell ability else its controller pays 2. Tron lands when? Ooh, Starfield Mystic is not one Goldfish had up. That's another sweet addition to the Enchantments Matter archetype, potentially. Oh, is it on Arena already? What set was that in? Oh, M20 is on Arena. Sure, that's one of the reprints. Got it. Got it. I think you're right. Listen, chat, they're all a blur. All right, sweet. We looked at a lot of these other cards yesterday. If you want my thoughts on them, you can pull them up on my YouTube channel. We are going to go ahead and